Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at 10 legend teams for the Great League Remix Cup. Those are going to be 10 teams that already people got to legend with during this cup. Not a lot of people are legend yet, so those teams definitely work out quite well. Some of them I already showcased on the channel as well, so definitely check out those videos. Also, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. Those videos are always gonna take a little bit of time. Those of course are a little bit easier because I can just look through the internet and find you some legend teams so you don't have to do it. And so let's take a look at the teams here. Also, if you want to take a look at some more teams and also at the meta itself, I made a video a week ago about this cup, so definitely check this one out as well. But yeah, let's move on to some legend teams. The first one is actually a team that I built, that someone took from me, and also they messaged me afterwards that they had legend with this team, which is kind of cool. I already made a video about this team, which is going to be the Carbink, the Galate, as well as the Chestnut. This team itself is a lot of fun. Your safe stop is going to be the Galate, which has a lot of play against the current meta, especially as Galate is going to be able to just charge very fast and also dish out so much damage. It is quite nice. Also, it's kind of similar coverage, actually kind of the same coverage as the Chestnut has. And so basically you have a little bit of a different typing with the psychic typing instead of the grass typing, while still doing the same amount of damage. And you see even on the graph here right now that you have basically the same kind of matchups. Carbink in the lead is going to be able to beat those flying type Pokemon that you don't want to face. One small issue might be the Gligar, but Gligar usually runs the Shadow variant. What this means as well is that your Carbink is actually going to be able to do a lot of damage with the Rock Throw. Plus also, if they want to swap into your Galate, you can still go for the Leaf Blade, and Leaf Blade does around like, what, 60-70% damage onto a Shadow Gligar. So this team definitely works out quite well, and again, like, here, Hansen also was able to legend with this one. I showcased it in the beginning of this cup, so definitely check out the video as well. Yeah, very cool team, very good team. Shadow Galate finally has a little bit of play again in some metas, and we can move on to team number 2. Next team is one that I kind of want to showcase, one that I kind of want to, yeah, play for myself. I haven't done any battles with this team yet, but this team looks like a lot of fun. We're going to have a Steel, Sableye, and Giratina matchup here. You kind of maybe know my favorite team for the Open Great League currently is Vigoroth in the lead, the normal Sableye, and the Giratina in the back. So very similar to this one, you have Fighting type weakness in the lead. You're going to have Sableye as a safe swap here, the Shadow variant over the normal variant, and in the back the Giratina. And Giratina, of course, is a little bit of a trickier Pokemon to get. Maybe try other Ghost type Pokemon, like, yeah, there's some other Ghost type Pokemon that most likely also would work out, like Regis, for example. Maybe even a Haunter would work out if you want to be a little bit spicier. But the cool thing about Giratina is that they're going to be able to resist a lot of moves, basically, because of the Dragon typing. The Dragon typing is a very good defensive typing, and combination between a Dragon and a Steel type Pokemon, of course, is something that we have seen throughout Go Battle League throughout the entire time. So yeah, it's a very good team for sure, and we can move on to team number 3, which is going to be kind of a classic one here. We're going to have Gligar, we're going to have the Manta, we're going to have the Poliwrath. There are going to be some teams that are very similar to this one as well, but that's kind of like the standard meta line here. You're going to have Gligar, which is just so overpowered. Like, I still don't understand how Poliwrath and Gligar, out of all Pokemon, were allowed to be in this cup. I don't get it. Maybe, like, what I would really recommend you for, like, Niantic or whatever, for the next time you want to make a remix cup, take everything above veteran rank, maybe. Like, this would be maybe a little bit better, because I don't know, like, why is Gligar allowed? Gligar is very overpowered. Next one, Palosha. Always using the Shadow Magnezone, and rightfully so. Shadow Magnezone, one of my favorite Pokemon as well. Such a good Pokemon to use, as we're going to have here Jellicent as well. I think with Hex could be also Bubble. I've seen some Bubble variants of the Jellicent as well during this cup, but Gligar again in the back. You know, my other favorite team for the Open Great League was also Magnezone, then a Fly in the back with the Mantine, and then a safe swap of a Ghost type, which was then the Annihilate. Here is just Jellicent. Jellicent itself, by the way, is a very cool Pokemon. Jellicent has a lot of play in the current meta because it's one of the few Pokemon that can beat the Water type Pokemon, the Fighting type Pokemon, plus having coverage against most of the Steel type Pokemon, like, for example, Steelix, because you have Surf against it. So Jellicent definitely got a little bit of an upwards trend as well. Very good Pokemon. Funnily enough here, as you can see, it ties with Goodra, which is kind of hilarious. But let's move on to team number 5, which is going to be a team with Gligar, Shadow variant. Ninetales, where I don't know if it's going to be Powder Snow or Charm. This could be a very different. I don't know. For this team, I feel both of them make sense. Like, both of them could work out for sure. Powder Snow is currently a little bit more common because it's going to be able to beat those Pokemon like Gligar a little bit easier, and I could see also Powder Snow being the better move for this team because of your Pokemon in the back. The Poliwrath being weak to those flying type Pokemon, it's better to have like a coverage with Powder Snow here. But yeah, this team definitely looks kind of solid. Shadow alone Ninetales also already showcased on the channel, so definitely check out that video as well. And we can move on to team number 6, which is going to be a team that I showcased yesterday. And this team is quite nice. I accidentally wrote Dig instead of Scorching Sands on the Diggersby on the video about it, but like this team was actually really good. Like I was a little bit surprised on how good the Gyarados actually is in this meta, but it's basically of course like a Manta and like a Pelipper or whatever, but this Pokemon has access to Dragon Breath. In the current meta, there are quite a lot of Pokemon that are kind of weak to it, and so I would really recommend you to take a look at the video, especially Diggers, because surprised me on how strong this Pokemon actually is in this meta, because there are a lot of Steel-type Pokemon. And also, with a Quick Attack plus Fire Punch, you're actually going to be able to win against Shadow Gligar quite easily. And so, this team has so much potential. Say-Swap, Diggersby here, Magnezone in the back. Loved it. I went way positive with this team as well. I think like a 9-3 run or something like this. So, check out the video for sure. Let's move on to team number 7. That's going to be one with a Goodra. Goodra, a Pokemon that has access to Power Whip here apparently, or the Thunder Punch. I think Thunder Punch might be better. I think that's like a wrong Goodra thing. I didn't look at it on PvPoke, but I think Thunder Punch might be a little bit of a better one than Power Whip. Thunder Punch is going to allow you to hit Mantine and Empoleon for more damage, so I think Thunder Punch is the way to go for this one. That's most likely a mistake on my part, but yeah, Thunder Punch is definitely better on this meta. I would not really recommend you to go for Power Whip, but anyway, we don't see the Shadow variant of Gligar, which is quite rare. But we see another Jellicent, which does make a lot of sense as well. Especially looking at the team here, you're going to have a double weakness to ice, where you're going to kind of need to have an answer for it, which is this Jellicent. And also you are going to, just in general, need a little bit more of coverage here for this team for those Steel-type Pokemon. Like the Steelix, where you're going to have Surfboard, because your lead really struggles against those Pokemon. But yeah, still, very cool team. I definitely like this one a lot as well. And we can move on to team number 8. Going to be a team where I already made some gameplay for this one, but I have not done a video about it. Maybe I'm going to do one eventually. But here you're going to see Galvantula, the Shadow variant of Ninetales, which is running Psyshock. And we're also going to have Superior, which is running Leaf Tornado, which is kind of unique. Leaf Tornado is kind of a bad move in general, but it's a 50% chance to drop the opponent's attack by 2 stages. So if you win the coin flip, you kind of win the battle, because it's a huge kind of debuff onto the opponent. We have more debuff here, of course, with the lunge on that Galvantula. And Ninetales with Psyshock, well, I did try to use this team here, didn't really do too much for me, to be fair. But yeah, I would mostly go for Dazzling Gleam instead. I don't think really there was a way where I really want to use Psyshock anyway, but it is what it is. Still, Psyshock was at least the name of this Pokemon for yeah, when they tried to post on Twitter, but yeah, I don't know if it's actually going to be Psyshock. I think that Dazzling Gleam is the better move to go for. Team number 9 here is going to be a double Steel line with the yeah, Pokemon that's weak to Fairy types, which is going to be the Mandibuzz. I could actually see that Empoleon is a Say-Up here and Registeel is the closer. Why would I think this? Empoleon has a little bit more coverage. Empoleon has also Drill Peck, which is a flying type move. You have a flying type Pokemon in the lead, so if you get like, if you swap out into your Empoleon as a Say-Swap, you're gonna most likely get out the Pokemon that would be weak to flying type moves. A lot of times it's a flying type Pokemon as well. And also Registeel with the nukes that it has is usually the better closer for any kind of meta. So I would imagine that the Empoleon might be the safe swap for this team. But still, a very solid team here. We can see as well that Mandibuzz is also like, why is Mandibuzz allowed? Can anybody tell me that? I don't know. But definitely very solid team. Double Steel in the back with Mandibuzz in the lead. Looks quite solid. Final one for the day is going to be a triple Shadow team here with the Shadow variant of Quagsire, of Charizard, and the Gligar. Very solid team here as well. Double flying, of course, with the Quagsire. It's a classic. It's a classic team here. Struggles a little bit against Mantine though. And Mantine can be a little bit of a trickier one for this team for sure. But yeah, let's play a legend with this team, and I think it's still a solid one. But yeah, Quagsire, double flying, or flying double Mud Boy is something that we have seen throughout the entirety of Go Battle League, I would say. And something that I really hope that we maybe have a little bit of a different kind of stuff going on for it, eventually at least. But yeah, it is what it is. So far, this is going to be 10 teams that I found. I actually didn't find, I think I found one more team or whatever, but they were like kind of similar to one that we had already before. Yeah, but those are the legendary teams that I was able to find. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out the people that hit legend with this team, like with those teams as well. Like, of course, the name is always on the screen. And hopefully this helped you. And yeah, check out the video. See you. Bye-bye.